there, I'm Scott, welcome back to our channel. This is Building with the Boys, and we have got issue 22 of the Disney Doll's House to round out the month. Again, a big one in this one. We are adding the final 3 walls to the Wonderland dining room for this month. We are making the final wall, but we won't be installing it. Now, I know the temptation's there to install this wall, and you're thinking, I'm just going to do it anyway. You can. I'm not stopping you. If you want to do that, you can. But you will be installing this next month regardless. So what will be happening is you'll be installing this and the floor at the same time, which is why I'd advise you don't install this wall yet. Wait until you got the floor. You don't want a solid wall with no give at all trying to fit a floor in. You don't want that. You want the wiggle room. You want the give. That's what you're going to want. So just be patient. Test fit it, just drop it in, just don't glue it down. Don't glue it down. You can pop it in, have a look how it looks, but my advice is don't glue it down. You don't want this thing getting wedged in and now all of a sudden you're having to force your floor in and risking snapping something. So that's my advice, don't do it. We've got quite a lot of pretty things in this one as well for the Wonderland dining room. We will have a look at those. We've got a lot of tea caddies, like a lot of tea caddies, but if you've seen the movie, they're throwing tea around like there's no tomorrow, so it's hardly surprising there's a lot of tea. I mean, the dining table itself, I think, has 4 or 5 teapots on it, so it makes sense there's an absolute ton of tea available in the house. And we get our first chair for the Wonderland dining table, and they're quite nice. They're very nice. We'll take a look at those now, and then we'll move on to the final parts for this stage. Again, we're just going to take our time on this one and allow the glue to dry. So here are our pretty bits. You can see we got 8 of these little caddies. Now, the bulk of these are tea. There are 2 that say cookie on them, which are these. The lids come off these as well, so I can show you. There you go. So you can take the lids off these. Again, just very detailed, very lovely little things. And these are going to look gorgeous. These colours, these pastel colours, are going to look really nice in that room on the blue dresser. I think it's going to look really nice. And this is our first chair. Now this is flocked, so it's soft to the touch, and it's the diamond chair. Now you will get one of each suit, so you will get the heart, the club, and the spade to go with this chair as well. So you do get a chair of each suit, which again is just a nice little touch. It really is. But lovely. I mean, there's not much more I can say about them. They just really are gorgeous little things. And again, the decor in this house is going to be breathtaking when it's all done. It really is. And they always make me smile. I've got a big goofy smile on my face looking at these at the moment, because again, I just think this is going to blow people away when this is done. It really is. Anyway, let's move on to the build. So taking wall number 11, we've redded the sides and we've added 2 spots of glue to the top of the bottom. We're going to slot this one in, which is easier said than done because it's got a weird kind of fit on this one. But let's see what we can do. There we go. Okay, well, that wasn't so harsh. That wasn't so bad, was it? Okay, now we're going to take one of our brace pieces here, and we're going to attach that to the top wall, and then we're going to move on to our next one. Okay, so same again with wall number 12. We've redded the edges and the 2 tabs, and we're going to slot this one in just about here. We go. And again, we're going to add another brace piece here just to hold that in place, and then we're going to move on to the final wall. Our final wall now, which is wall number 13, is going to slot in the last place here. And again, we're going to add a brace piece to this so it all holds together, and then we're going to allow it to dry. So there we have this section of our wall in place, and it's looking really rather lovely. That's it for this one when it comes to build. That's all we're actually building, but you can see how we're looking now. There from behind. So there's my glue. It hasn't dried yet. But we got to allow this to dry. We've got to let this do its thing. Otherwise, you know, you risk having a wonky build or your walls falling apart. You don't want that. So we're going to allow this to dry. We've got to give it a good 24 hours to get a decent bond out of these, and That's what we're going to do. But we are going to paper the final wall. The final wall we're going to do in this stage. Now, this is the way you want it round for the Wonderland side. It's the door to the left for Wonderland. So this is the wallpaper that's going to go on here. That side Wonderland. Flipping it over, so door to the right, we Frozen. And that's how we're going to do Frozen. So I'm going to wallpaper this up, trim it down, and we'll take a look. Here we have the Frozen wall that's papered and trimmed. Now you go right to the bottom on the Frozen one, so you're leaving a gap at the top, but you go right to the bottom of the wallpaper on this one. On this side, we leave the gap at the bottom, and we leave very little gap at the top, but we do leave a gap, as you can see. And that's this side. So there's one thing left to do, because I think we all want to see it, don't we? So let's see if we can fit this into our house and see what that looks like. Again, I'm not going to glue it. If you want to, you go ahead, but my advice is don't. But let's see if we can get this just loosely fit in, just so we can have a look at our whole house. There we go. So again, this is just a loose fit in, but now we can see our Wonderland dining room, what it would look like with all walls, and our Frozen hallway. Then we'll zoom right out. And that's how we're looking. So we're looking really rather lovely, aren't we? We really are getting there. And as I said, this is the accelerator. This is, we've gone from having just this room to pretty much 3 rooms done. Really happy with that. And it's starting to look really good now. Huge. Sturdy, it's feeling nice. I mean, even unglued, that's still sturdy, that's nice. But again, I'm not gluing this one yet. I just don't recommend it. Let's have a chat. We're going to have a chat about what is to come, what we're going to look like in the next 6 months, and also some news about Christmas. So that's it. That's it for stage 22, and that's it for this month's pack. And wow, how much this has grown in just that one pack is huge. And this is what I mean. We went through the slow months to get to where we are now, and everything now makes an impact. It's incredible. It really is. And I'll say this, I know a lot of people that are watching these, the first time builders. It's the first time they're doing these. And take a moment for yourself. You're 6 months in now to this build. Take a moment, take a step back and look at what you've built. It's impressive. It's impressive, and you've done that. This was done by you, and you know, you can see the fruits of your labour now. This is starting to take shape. It now looks like a doll's house. And it's getting to where it needs to be, and take some pride in that. You know, you did this, and it's a beautiful thing. I've seen a lot of people are cancelling their subs. I've seen quite a few people have cancelled their subscriptions on some of the different social media sites. It's sad to see people do that, and some of the reasons given were quite strange. I mean, one of them was, I'm not getting the parts fast enough. You're not going to get them any faster. You're just not. I mean, I know there's this whole thing where the news agents are getting them before we are. Yeah, kind of. I mean, but they're still not. It's not like they're months ahead of us. I think the most they're going to get ahead is about 4 weeks. Big deal. They finish 4 weeks before you do. You're still not going to get them faster, unless this thing had done its complete run, and you can outright buy every single issue from Japan. If you've got the money to do that, well, then go ahead and do it. But I mean, this is a really weird reason to cancel. I'm not getting them fast enough. Well, you're not going to. That's the nature of part work. This is a hobby. And as we explained at the beginning, this is something that takes time. And this is not a race by any means. This is a marathon, it ain't a sprint, you know. And this is something you should enjoy. This is something you should take a little bit of time out yourself for, whether you do it once a month or you do your parts once a week, whatever it is. You should just take a little bit of time for yourself and just enjoy it. So I find that a very strange one. I'm not getting them fast enough. Okay, well, you never will. And this was kind of explained. I mean, it was, you know, it's all in the print what you're going to get. You get the monthly. That's the way it is. So once a month you get your packs. I get it as well. You want it from the newsagent, that's fine. But I kind of like having 4 at once to do and do them all in one hit, rather than wait a week and paper 3 walls and wait another week and paper a wall. And I don't want to do that. I prefer when I get the whole lot. Next month, if you are a premium subscriber, you will be getting your next two premium figures, which are Anna and I believe Toulouse. I've got this written down somewhere. I can tell you exactly who we're getting next month. Everyone gets Olaf. So next month, Olaf will be coming, which would be nice, something to look forward to. But we get... I'm completely wrong. It's not Anna next month. Next month, all subscribers, not premium, all subscribers get Minnie and Daisy next month. So that was one of the gifts. So if you're a subscriber, you'll get Minnie, Daisy next month, and Olaf comes as well in one of the packs in next month. So you'll get 3 more characters to add to your house. So this really is stepping up now. We get Anna and Toulouse in October. I know they were coming at some point, but no. So yeah, Minnie, Daisy, and Olaf are coming next month. So you'll have 3 more characters for your house. Next month is a bit of an odd one. So what we're going to be doing is we're adding that wall that you've seen. We're also going to be adding the floor to the dining room. And that dining room is pretty much complete at that point. There is there's some more skirting board that goes in there. So the floor goes in. There's a skirting board as well that goes in there. We're going to be doing elements of the frozen room, which have a similar wood paneling to Mickey's room, but it's all white. So we'll be doing those as well. And we get our first door. So we're going to build the door completely, but we're not going to install it yet. So we build the door ready for its installation. Then the following month, so that will be August, we will get the parts to finish it off, and that'll be the door that connects Mickey's room to the frozen hallway. Now, doors can be a bit of a bugger, because if you haven't put your wood paneling in correctly, you run the risk of your door sticking. So again, this is why I advise not to jump ahead. So read your instructions carefully and make sure your wood paneling is as snug to the walls as it can be, either side. Leave enough gap so that door will fit in clean. These doors are going to be... I've got a feeling these doors are going to be a bit of a nuisance, but we'll see. I might be wrong. We'll see. Anyway, what we're going to look like after next month is this. I've got a picture. So after next month, this is what your ground floor is going to look like. You can see from that, structure-wise, we're pretty much complete. For ground floor, we're pretty much complete at that point. There are a few bits and pieces that need to go in, but not many. There's a frame that goes around the where the basement stairs will go in the frozen room, and there's some tiny bits of skirting left to go into the Wonderland room. But other than that, structure-wise, it's done. Windows are very random in this one. So what's going to happen is once we're done with this, we kind of leave this. So this will be going away. So you won't be constantly bringing this thing up and down. We will be moving away from this. And we're going to build the base of the house, which is where Winnie the Pooh's garden is going to slot into. And it's what the house is going to sit on to elevate it. It's a very large piece that we're going to build. It's massive. It looks like this. The base plate. You'll start accruing parts for those next month, and then the month after that we start to assemble it. Because we're 6 months in, and we're through our first half year, I thought we'd take a look at where we're going to be 6 months from now. So just shy of 6 months from now, in November, this is what your house is going to look like. So you'll see, as I said, this is rapid. You'll see exactly how much bigger this thing is 6 months from now. This is, well, 5 months from now. This is what it's going to look like. Crazy, right? So you're going to start getting some height on this thing. But that section will be built, and then after that we move on to Pooh's Gardens. We're making the it's like a drawer. We're making that thing, so it's completely separate from this. So you won't be touching this main structure of the house for a good while. It's about 3 months before we touch this structure. You come back to it now and then, so you'll come back and you'll put a window in, but we're focusing on Pooh's Garden. Pooh's Garden is almost like a separate build, so we're going to focus on that for a couple of months. That's fine. It all needs to be done. And then 1 year from now, so 1 year to pretty much the day, this is what we're going to look like. So yeah, you can see at that stage we're pretty much, there's one more piece to go on to finish the second floor at that point, and it is it's the flooring for Cinderella's room. That's it. But once you get to that stage, you will have done all of the basement is complete, Pooh's garden is complete, the house is on the frame, all of the downstairs windows are in, the lighting is in, the ceilings for the lower floor and the floors for the second floor are in, all of the wall structures complete. Not only that, the bulk of furniture that needs to be built for downstairs is built at that point. So you will also have buildable furniture for the Disneyland, I keep calling it Disneyland. The Wonderland dining room has buildable, like a French dresser and a little table. That'll all be built. Pretty much all of Pooh's furniture is buildable. So there's a little wheelbarrow. There's another thing I'll come to in a minute that we all built for that. That will all be done. A lot of the pictures that go on the walls will be in place. The stairs for the Frozen room will be in place. The stairs down to Pooh's basement will be in place. A lot. So it'll be huge. A year from now, a lot is going to be done. There's a lot you can't see in that picture that we would have done. And those, like I said, those are the buildable furniture. There's quite a lot of buildable furniture. There's buildable lights. Don't panic about those. They're very easy. It's all just plug and play. You'll be fine. But yeah, huge. You can see we are just now barreling. We've got past the slow part. I don't know why Partworks do this. I've got a feeling it's got something to do with kind of reflective, with the amount of people that have tapped out after 6 months and said I'm out. I've got a feeling they just kind of wait for the people that are going to drop out to drop out and then accelerate. Then we start getting sort of the big stuff. I don't know why they do it, but I mean, it seems there's definitely a pattern, because I've seen it in other ones that I've done. You get to about the 6 month point and a bunch of people go, I don't want to do this. It's like, well, you shouldn't start it, really. I mean, it's, you know, I understand if it's financial. I completely understand that. Circumstances change. And my God, I mean, I remember a time when petrol cost less than diamonds. So I get it completely, and never put yourself in the poorhouse for a model. You know, just don't do it. If you can't afford it, you can pause your subscription. You can always come back to this. So everything costs more money these days. It just does. So yeah, don't ever feel bad about, you know, I've got to take a break from this for a while. Do it. You know, you got to do what's right for you. It's not worth getting broke over models. If money's tight, you got to prioritize the right things, and unfortunately, Pretty Dolls houses aren't one of them. So yeah, don't ever feel bad about that. But if it's not that, read the small print before you sign up to anything. Read the small print, because I find that one strange, where I'm not getting them fast enough. Okay, but you read the thing, you knew what you were getting. I find that weird. But this thing is really rather lovely. Now, Christmas news, bizarrely, even if you're not sticking around for the issues after 120, you will start getting elements of the Christmas build as early as 116. Now, not much, and it doesn't affect the original build. So everything, it's not that they've started giving you Christmas stuff you're not going to use. You get some little windows that are part of the Christmas wagon. They're just thrown in almost to lure you in. That's all it is. So you still get your pretty bits and things like that. So don't worry about that. But Japan have now finished. So Japan have done all 120 issues, and they're done. The very last thing that you build on this is Cinderella's bed. It looks like a nightmare. I always said that the front door was the hardest thing to do. I got to be honest, Cinderella's bed looks like a bloody nightmare to do. But we got a long time before we got to deal with that. But I mean, you've got to do sewing. That's not. I mean, look at these sausage fingers. I mean, my fingers are like Richmond sausages. How am I going to sew a curtain? I don't know. I think it's something I got to talk to the wife about to help me with that one. But yeah, we need needle and thread, and we need to put some stitches into a curtain on Cinderella's bed. Cinderella's bed is also massive. So there's only one way it will go in the room. It's that big. It's huge. It's this giant four-poster bed, and I've watched multiple people struggling trying to get it into the room because they're trying to put it in whilst the room's decorated. Forget it, right? So if you're thinking I'm going to decorate each room as I go, the Cinderella's bed incident tells me that ain't happening. The only thing you can put in Cinderella's room is that bed. Then you put the other stuff in, because to get it in, you've almost got to put it in at an angle and then push. And once it's in, that bed ain't coming out. I mean, it would, but you again, you'd have to remove everything from the room. It's not just a slot in, slot out. You'll see when we get to it. It's a long way away, but you'll see when we get to it. And these beds are lovely as well. The mattresses that come with these beds are foam, so they're like soft beds. I think they're really gorgeous. And I believe we make 2 beds. We make one for, yeah, 2 beds. We make one for Peter Pan's room, and we make one for Cinderella's room. Cinderella's is, like I said, it's massive. It's this giant 4-poster bed. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now, back to Christmas. So they have finished in Japan. The house is all built. So anybody that's stopping at 120 is now stopped. If you're continuing with the Christmas build, this is what you get with your very first. This is what you get with 121s. This is what you get with the first Christmas pack. So you get a very little Christmas tree. That's a tiny Christmas tree. That's like a tabletop Christmas tree. It's not a full-size one. It's a little one. And you get your first piece of the Christmas wagon. And the Christmas wagon is bloody massive. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's a big piece, which is good. I mean, you know, but it is all buildable. So at that point, we are going to be using, there's some glue involved. And there are screwdriver. So you need a screwdriver for it as well. Don't worry about that. Again, when we get to that point, I'll tell you exactly what you need and how to do it. It's easy. And we're going to build the Christmas wagon. Then ultimately, once the Christmas wagon's built, we're going to build the ice cream truck. So there's a lot. Now, again, I am going all the way to the end, so I will be there to help you if you need it, because it is going to be a slightly different building style to what we're doing here. I mean, a lot of this is glue and wood and stickers, whereas when we get to the Christmas wagon and the ice cream truck, it's going to involve more build, so screwdrivers and things like that. Now, don't be intimidated by that. This is easy. If you've ever changed a plug or something like that, it's that level of difficulty. It's, you know, you ain't got a weld or anything. You're literally screwing it in. The screws are provided. They tell you where they go. It's simple, and I will show you how to do it. So don't be panicked by that. But again, take a step back and look at what you've achieved so far in the last 6 months, and you've done a lot. And this is now looking like a doll's house. This is almost a playable thing at this point. And be proud of that. Be proud of what you've achieved, and let that spur you on to do the rest of it, you know? Because we're going to get there, and we'll get there together. Happy Father's Day to all fathers out there that are building this for their kids or building this for themselves, but happy Father's Day to you, and also massive happy Father's Day to all the mothers out there that are pulling double duty when the guy didn't want to step up to the greatest job in the world. I don't know why they do, but they do. I'm a man raised by a woman, and I've turned out fine. Sisters, you're doing a great job, and keep it up. If you haven't yet, please give us a like. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. It helps us massively, and we very much appreciate everybody that wants to join us on this journey. Thank you for stopping by. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. And we'll see you next month for the next full parts of Disney Doll's House. Take care.